This week we are learning about drawing conclusions for reading. It's important for us to know what this is and why we do it. Drawing conclusions helps us to have a better understanding of what's happening in the story or why characters say and do certain things. As adults, many of us naturally draw conclusions when we're talking with others or reading. Throughout the years, we've learned how to do this, and it becomes natural to us. But for beginning readers, it's not as natural, and therefore we need to teach them how to do it. Good readers are like detectives. If authors put every detail in a story, it would be so big and we wouldn't enjoy reading it because it would take too long. So, as we read, we fill in what's not being said by using schema and context clues. Your schema is all the information in your brain. You think about people you have met, places you have been, things you have experienced, or even things that you have read about in other books. All this information that's stored in your brain is considered your schema. As readers read, they think about what's happening in the story and relate it to the things that they have already experienced. Put in another way, when you draw conclusions, you read what is in the text, use what you have learned or experienced that's similar to those events, and you make a connection. For example, if your story includes balloons, gifts, and party clothes, you would use what you have experienced to draw the conclusion that they're probably going to a birthday party, even though the author didn't write those exact words. Many good readers will say or think certain things as they read. For example, they might say to themselves, in the story it says that they have pigs, sheep, and roosters. I know that my grandpa and grandma have these animals, and they live on a farm, so I can assume that the story takes place on a farm. Drawing conclusions comes naturally, especially for experienced readers, but for those that are just learning how to read, it's important that we model how to do this. As we read, we should model the thinking that's going on inside our head. When we learn to read, we go through many processes. At this point in first grade, many students are reading very fluently and it sounds really good, but we need to remember that comprehension is the next step. Drawing conclusions helps us to think about what we're reading and make more connections to really understand